Hey folks, this is Jake Davis, and don't really have anything to talk about today. I just kind of wanted to do a video. I didn't see anything, didn't watch a new movie today. Haven't really prepared a top 10 list. Certainly not done a classic or retro thing in the last few days. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. How about Brie Larson? Everybody loves her right now, right? Oh, what's this? This is a list of her movies. How about that? Now, Brie Larson is the same age as my sister, which just convinces me that anyone born in 1985 is evil. And I'll stand by that. I mean, in all honesty, in all fairness, Brie Larson's not an awful actress. She's, just to appease my own pignish, she's gorgeous. Really good-looking girl. Nice hair, pretty eyes, nice body, nice skin. One of the most beautiful smiles you're likely to ever see. But she doesn't smile. She's, I don't know, there's something, well, I should say there's always been this something off-putting about her. I've never really been able to put my finger on until she became a real big star, because over the last year, Brie Larson seems to have been hell-bent on making an ass of herself. There's no underplaying. Yeah, Captain Marvel is a successful film. It's made $1 billion. At this point, just going by box office numbers, you can't really blame the MCU for going forward with pushing her. I always use like wrestling phrases when I talk about movies. You just gotta work with me on that kind of stuff. Anyhow, so I don't know. I think Larson is, or Brie, something weird about calling a woman by her last name to me. She's talented. I mean, she can create a character. She can do this stuff. She can do the job, But just something so off-putting about her. Like, here, for example, I wanted to break down her. I've only seen 8 of her films. Now, that may not seem like a lot, considering she's been working since she was a kid. But at the same time, she's done TV, and she's only really gotten hot over, like, the last 7 years or so. As far as, consistent, fresh work rolling in. Even after her Oscar, I think it's kind of fair to say nobody really knew her. She wasn't a household name before Captain Marvel. So she's a pretty fresh star. And since I better go ahead and say this now, Captain Marvel has been Brie Larson, Captain Marvel. The real Captain Marvel is Zachary Levi. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, that's a good movie. Check that fucking thing out. Anyhow, Brie Larson is, she's just kind of this, she's kind of got this off-putting attitude about everything. And, like, at first, you could just kind of write off, oh, she said she doesn't want any white men interviewing her. She doesn't care what white men have to say about movies. I could almost kind of just, throw that away, because that's like, that's just typical Hollywood right now. It's just, they go through their fads. There's something about Hollywood specifically, more than any other area of this country, seem to be based on this level of superiority. You know what I mean? They think that everything is based on who's better than this person. Or are you less superior than me kind of crap. So I just, fuck Hollywood in a lot of ways. They are not while they might be the fountain of entertainment in this country, they are not our fountain of culture. And do not get that mixed up. So Brie, where she's really gotten bad within the last few months is there's first off her seemed to be, now I don't know if this is 100% true, but I heard this rumor, and after seeing the movie for myself twice, I do not think she got in shape for Captain Marvel. She seemed winded, out of shape. I wouldn't go as far as call her frumpy or anything like that. I mean, she's still attractive, she's still thin and everything, but she just not, I don't know, didn't seem to have, like, there's just a few shots of her, she's just doing nothing but running, and for this superpowered being, she seems more, like, kind of ridiculously winded. But, that's a little thing. And I've always had those little things with her performances, which is why I should probably just go ahead and lead into this. I first noticed Brie Larson was Scott Pilgrim versus the World because, I'm the kind of guy, I try to grab actors' names. You know what I mean? And Scott Pilgrim was full of young, fresh faces. It was the first time I'd ever seen Aubrey Plaza, for example. And I thought she was terrific in it. And, I've been a fan of hers ever since. I think she's a really underrated actress. I mean, how is she not considered like one of the top set symbols in Hollywood right now? This is a girl who could just turn that shit on and just leave you shaking. She is insanely sexy and insanely talented, and I think Aubrey doesn't get enough talent. It doesn't get enough credit. I'm sorry. Let's start with Greenberg. And we're going to skip Greenberg because Greenberg is kind of a shitty movie, to be honest. And I don't even remember her in it. So go to Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim is where I first saw her. And of all the characters, if you've ever seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, it is a delight. It is a great movie. You really should see it. But at the same time, I kind of think that there's, some movies really speak to specific generations. Like, if you've ever seen the film Billy Jack from, 1973, that is a baby boomer movie. And if you weren't a baby boomer, chances are you will hate that fucking movie. And I kind of think Scott Pilgrim vs. the World has a little bit of that same quality. I don't know whether or not if people outside of, millennials, hate to consider myself a millennial because I feel so much older than that, you know what I mean? But, that's just because life is so hard. Anyhow, yeah, I don't really see Scott Pilgrim vs. the World as this... I mean, I don't know if other people older than me or even younger than me, like in their teens and shit like that. I'm an old man. I don't know if they would so much hate it, but I think it was such a unique film that spoke to the generation of its time. Now, in one way, that can, like as I've kind of alluded to, can severely date a movie, but it doesn't necessarily ruin a movie. You know what I mean? But the point I bring up is because I felt of all the characters, of all the performances, Michael Cera's great performance, Mary Elizabeth Winstead's great, Kieran Culkin is great, Alison Pill is so good in that, so underrated performance in that. It felt to me that Andy Adams, while opening to be a great character, seemed to be the only one in the whole movie that just felt stiff and dishonest. Of that Edgar Wright kind of just step into panel, do your quip, and move on kind of stuff. That high energy shit, fast edit stuff that Edgar Wright does. She felt like the only one that was really out of place of the whole movie. In a cast of dozens of characters, and you're the only one that sticks out in that negative light. She's not bad in it, but she's that... She's the bad chip, or the saggy French fry. Could have been more wittier with that. Anyhow, 21 Jump Street. I didn't really have much of a problem when I first saw 21 Jump Street. I think it's a good movie. The girl is, not to be critical or, it's just the girl. This is always kind of the thing with undercover buddy cop movies. Even going back to 60s spy shows and stuff like that. The girl of the week is really just the girl of the week. Is that a little sexist? Yeah, but it's no different than Charlie's Angels or the love relationship of the week is just that. They are interchangeable, and at the same time where that may be disrespectful to the gender or whatever, in reality this leaves a revolving door for fresh actors to get their face on this popular thing, so don't criticize something like that. There's a reason Batman movies always have new actors as the villains, new actors as the love interest, because you want to get those names out, because stuff like this help actors' careers. So, anyhow, there's the only real what was that? I don't know what just happened to my phone. The only real criticism I have with 21 Jump Street, or her performances, is that the role is so clearly, obviously written for Emma Stone. And maybe if you didn't, if you, like me, I researched, I read that, and found out about that. And ever since I've known that, I can't really see past that. So that's one of those kind of deals. Trainwreck. All I'm going to say about Trainwreck is, I understand everything negative people say about Amy Schumer, but she did a good job with that movie. That's a fair movie. That's a funny movie. But at the same time, Amy Schumer, Brie Larson, sisters. No, that does not work. That's not on McConaughey and Harrelson at TV levels. That is not good sibling casting. Room. Room is a life-affirming, joyous, intense, amazing, magnificent film. It might be one of the best films of the last decade. I can't really say enough about it because I really don't have time to. And it's just, it's an amazing movie. And if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend see it. And if you have seen it, tell somebody to see it. It's one of those movies. It's an amazing, amazing movie. But even though she won her Oscar for her performance in that, and yes, she's very good in it, it's a very demanding role, sure, that's that kid's movie. Jacob Tremblay is amazing in that part, and it's one of the best child performances I've ever seen in my life, and it's just, I'm not saying she shouldn't have won the Oscar. I'm not saying she wasn't good in the movie. I'm just saying that that kid is so good, it's hard to give any other actor credit when he wasn't even nominated. Similar to like Django Unchained. Christoph Waltz was great. He won the Oscar and good for him, but come on. DiCaprio, y'all, shit, did you not see DiCaprio's performance in that? Which leads me to Free Fire. Free Fire is a small little movie. Literally the entire fucking film is a long-winded shootout, and everyone in it is good. It's this little indie set in the 70s, has nice costumes, cool guns, and it's just a fun little violent movie. It's Charlton Copley, Cillian Murphy, Armie Hammer, and Brie Larson, and they're all really good in it. It's really fun. It's not that long, but it's uber violent. So I would recommend seeing that if you haven't seen it. Kong Skull Island. So this is when I started to really kind of, what the fuck is with Brie Larson as an actor? Does she even care about her performances? Is the very simple kind of thing. You don't even have to think about it. She's playing a battlefield reporter. A fucking legit infield reporter, in the shit kind of stuff. And she doesn't have enough awareness, have enough experience to put her hair in a ponytail when she gets into a fucking helicopter. And no, it's a small thing. It's a small thing. But as a character, it's a big thing. It's a natural thing. I have long hair. I haven't cut my hair in over 2.5 years. I'm a professional cook. I don't fucking hang my hair in the food. Just like if you're taking pictures for a living, when it's really fucking windy, you'd want the hair out of your eyes, and more importantly, out of the lens, out of the shot. And now we get to Captain Marvel. Do I think... Look, I did my review of Captain Marvel, and where I don't think I really got nasty enough on it. There's other videos out there that give this movie plenty of shit, who are far more articulate and in-depth, and, with editing, it's not just a guy rambling. So if you want to see people really, really, really dig into and bitch about Captain Marvel the way it deserves, go watch those guys' videos. Because at this moment, I just don't have the energy to give that movie the amount of hate it truly deserves. So, ultimately, when it comes down to, will or can Brie Larson ruin the MCU? I think it's very possible she can. It's very probable she will. But all I really have to say to that is, all good things come to an end. We had 10 years of the MCU, nearly 24 movies, and that dug into comic book building in a cinematic way that I, as a fan, as a teenager, Never thought we'd see, even going into Iron Man itself. I didn't believe they'd really do the building. So my real ultimate attitude is that if Brie Larson and her lackluster Captain Marvel character is what ultimately ruins the MCU, it's what brings it down. That's what she'll be remembered for. That's what the film will be remembered for. But, you know, like I said, you know, nothing lasts forever. So, I'm hoping they come back from it, they work from it, and who knows, Endgame comes out next weekend, and it may be amazing. But ultimately, it all feels like we're kind of winding down to this big universe. And even if this is the end, I think it's really been fun, and it will be remembered positively. And if it is kind of all derailed because of one actor was so unlikable, nobody wanted to go see the movies anymore, opposed to just the people behind it were just ready to call it a day, that would be sad. Other than that, I've enjoyed the ride. I've seen most of these films at the theaters, and they opened brand new doors and broke expectations of the potential of comic book movies. And until I see Endgame, I'm going to try not to talk about the MCU anymore. I hope y'all like this video. This was a true unplanned rant. I mean, I did write down Brie Larson's movies. I did that a few days ago, so I saw, what really triggered me to finally do this video is I saw Mahler's video. Unappreciated, criminally unsubscribed channel on YouTube there. He does long movie reviews, but he doesn't just do movie reviews. His movie reviews is what I like the most, though. His unbridled rage and unbridled praise. And in the case of Captain Marvel, unbridled, eh. Anyhow, hope y'all watched. If you did, thank you. And God bless you. And I hope y'all enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, comment, get involved, leave suggestions. I don't get any suggestions on my channel. Y'all all wait till you're in person to talk to me. Leave it on my channel. I say do it on the video because I want it on the channel. But so if you got suggestions, you see me and you don't say it on the channel, let me know still, because the suggestions are always great. Anyhow, I'm Jake Davis. I'll catch you on the fly.